Hey everyone, we're back one more time with a block message. And today we're going to be talking about friendship. Yep, that's right. We're going to be talking about friendship. As we go into a Holy Week and it's Palm Sunday today, we want to talk about not only Christ as a friend, but what type of friend are we being? And what types of friends do we desire to have in our circle and in our community? So we already know life is hard as it is. But one thing as a believer, we can't try to put on a strong face and make it seem like life is just a breeze. In fact, the Bible tells us we're going to have hard times, but we need to persevere through it. So that's why the first couple messages that we came on were building up your faith, we're building up your resiliency. And so you know where your help is coming from. But when we're in those hard trials, when days are hard, we're going through obstacles, we're suffering through some things, you have to understand you can't do it alone. And the scripture we're going to go into is Ecclesiastes 4, scriptures 9 and 10. Two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their toil. For if they fall, one will lift up his fellow, but woe to him who is alone when he falls and has not another to lift him up. Let's look at a note and make some notes on the benefits of a Christian friendship. In verse 10, it tells us that having a friend is important. Because when you're going through hard times, you're working through hard goals, you need someone to help you through it. And because we have received the help, we so desperately need to make sure we're being there and showing up for others as well. When we get to share in the reward with someone who knows, who understands what we've been through, it feels good, right? When we can accomplish it together. Think about it. Have you ever been excited to share some good news with somebody and they didn't feel the same way about that news you just shared? I can't be by myself. You feel a little bit crushed, you feel a little bit deflated that you were super pumped, but it was because that person, did they share in the experience with you? Man, when you get there, I know it feels like a letdown. I've been there with you. But all we really want is someone to feel the same way we do. And that's what a strong friendship does. You want somebody to come alongside us. Someone, let's put it frankly, somebody who gets it. Well, when we go through life's obstacles with a friend, and when we help each other out, we can celebrate in our victories together. That's pretty awesome, right? Now let's 24 and 25. And let us consider how to stir up one another to love and good works, not neglecting to meet together, as is the habit of some, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day drawing near. You see, it's not about me. Your job is to encourage your friends to do good things. Now, it's one thing to say it, but it's in the do, it's in the action of being a good friend that we begin to model what this looks like. It's showing compassion. It's making good decisions. And in that, you begin to strengthen one another, and you can strengthen and help your relationship with God. I know. I just made that sound pretty easy, right? It's not. Because you have adults that are working through this very same thing every single day. I'm not saying it's a cakewalk, but you in difficult times need to make sure you're being an encourager and you're looking to receive encouragement back, because it's a two-way street, right? You don't just want to keep emptying your cup without making sure you're doing the right things to fill it back up, especially in times like right now, when things may not be going all that well, you're stuck in the house with the parents. Again, you love them. You love your siblings, but sometimes you just need to get away. But we need to make sure we are looking for the right things and being the right friend. And again, you may have noticed, you may be tempting to hide from your friends when times get tough because you got your own stuff you're working through. But it's okay, right? Continue to pray, continue to press in. Now, maybe you don't want to talk about the things that are going on with you. Or maybe you don't want the advice that they might give. Because if they're really your true friend, you probably know what type of advice you're going to get from them. So sometimes we avoid having conversation with our friends. I know I have about 2 or 3 buddies that I know when I'm going through tough stuff, I know what they're going to say to me. They're going to repeat back something we've already talked about. But don't consider going and getting advice and talking to somebody as weak. Don't consider that being weak, right? If they don't know, or you don't let anyone know what you're going through, how can they be there to support you if they're really your friend? We look at verse 25 that says we should not neglect meeting together. Why? Because even though we may not want to, it may be something somebody says that encourages you. Man, I can remember every single time I jump on a conference call, a video call with somebody, I may be feeling not my best, but it's something that they say that encourages me to push through, to push on. And then it actually helps me want to share because I'm in an environment with good people, good friends that share some of the same values as me. By shutting those out, we miss out on the opportunity, on the very thing that keeps us out of mess. Now, we talk about a mess, right? Let's get to Proverbs 27:17, which says, iron sharpens iron and one man sharpens another. This verse refers to sometimes we don't want to talk about this long word. It's called accountability, right? Iron sharpens iron and one man sharpens another. Part of a valuable friendship is the ability to be open and honest with one another. I'll say that one more time for the people in the back. Sometimes the valuable friendships in your life are the ones that give you the ability to be open and honest with one another. Earlier, we talked a lot about encouragement, showing love, but there may be some more difficult times in friendship that being the real friend and allowing the other person to be their real selves sometimes looks like accountability and calling some things out. And Proverbs 27:17 reminds us the value of friendship is making sure we're sharpening another. I know my friends, every time I talk to them, I feel smarter. I feel stronger. I feel like I can run faster, lift more, do more. That's how you should be as a friend. And that's the type of friend you should want to surround yourself with. And there's something that's called raising your lid, right? The law of the lid. If everybody in the circle is of equal nature, intellectually, physically, mentally, emotionally, how can you all get better if everybody's the same? So here's the truth. If you're willing to open your mind and your heart, you'll grow when you have expectations of your circle of friends. All right, think about it. Would an enemy tell you the truth in love? No, they can care less about you. That's why they're an enemy. But those of you who are your friends, your true friends, they risk us getting angry. They risk us getting frustrated because they understand there's a bigger goal. There's something you want. You've told them you want. And they have your best interests at heart. So according to these Bible verses we've covered, what are three aspects of a godly friendship? Got help, we got encouragement, we got accountability. All right, the three aspects. We got help, we got encouragement, we got accountability. So I want you today to evaluate your friendships and think about how you can begin to grow these areas through God. I'll say it again. Evaluate your friendships today. Think about how to begin and grow them through God. So we got some discussion questions because we can't go any day, any Sunday without some discussion questions. So I want you to discuss these with your parents. So I'll post them on the slide and I'll give you some time to work through them. But one, do you have any friends that exhibit one or more of these traits? The help, the encouragement, and accountability. Talk about them with your parents. Talk about them with your friends. And is that something that you want, if it's missing or not? And then state why or why not. That's just one example of discussion questions that we're going to go through today. But again, like I posted at the end of the slide last week, if you need prayer or someone you know needs prayer, please, please, please do not neglect putting in prayer requests to the email down there. You see it, prayer@theoutletcommunity.com. And again, it could be for yourself, it could be for your friends, it could be for your family. We all need prayer, not just because of the times that we're in, but don't be afraid. Again, we just talked about friendship. Don't be afraid to partner with someone. When two or three are gathered in his name, he's always in the midst. So thank y'all for showing up today. Thank y'all for showing out. Hopefully you feel encouraged. Hopefully you feel motivated. And until next time, continue to be great.